In this video, guys, I'm going to answer the question, I'm losing money trading, should I quit? Stay tuned. Hey traders, everyone, welcome to. So question from viewer, subscriber. Appreciate all your questions and comments. As always, this was a question, I'm losing money trading, and actually it was day trading, so let's just add that one in there. Should I quit? Okay, and this is a common thing that goes through our mind, not necessarily a question that comes in, but more of a common thought in the mind. And often when you're first starting out in trading, you go in there and you're like, yes, it's going to be great, I'm going to make money, all I need to do is make, a little bit to keep myself going and I'm fine. And you kind of don't do well in the first 6 months to a year, if not more, and you actually lose money, so your pot gets diminished and you kind of don't get any income, and you kind of think, well, what should I do? And you're kind of almost in a panic situation, because the number one thing you obviously need to live is cash flow. Now, if let's just assume there's two scenarios here. One is you've got enough money to live on for 2, 3, 4 years, and this is kind of just doing this and you've got the time to make it work. The other is, most people go in this kind of side, is they've made the commitment to trade, but they're not performing at the level they want. Now, of course, if you're on this side of the fence, and you've got the money, then the answer probably is don't quit, but just reduce the position size, because the learning you make is you've probably already said, okay, I've got X amount of years to do this, or months, whatever it may be, and I could fund my lifestyle, pay for my bills, do all the things I need to do, and fund my day trading. If I get to the point I need to be by there, then great. If I don't, then I'll reevaluate. So that's one way of looking at it. But most people are on the other side, where maybe they've come straight out of a job, or they decided to quit their job, or they're coming straight out of university or college or school or whatever it may be, and gone, right, I want to trade, let's get going. And they kind of chug along and they're like, you know what, I've lost some money here, I'm losing money. So I'm going to assume that that's the question, right? Day trading, should I quit? The number one thing you need to stay in the business of trading is A, capital in your trading account, and B, you need to have enough money to pay for your day-to-day living, unless someone is covering that, or like I say, you have excess surplus money. So your rent, your mortgage, your food, all the bills that we know exist in day-to-day life. So the question then becomes, you must have those covered, and you must have a trading pot to trade. If you've got those two things, then you're good. But unfortunately, what happens is we start to trade, we start to lose money, we have to draw down the pot maybe to pay some bills, that gets diminished, and the losses, all of a sudden, it starts off up here and then it goes down very, very slowly. Or it starts off low and you're assuming you're going to grow it, and it never ever happens. So you get to kind of here and you go, well, listen, I've got not much left here, should I quit? Now, my opinion is this, is that if you're in a situation where you've diminished a lot of capital and your performance is not very well, the likelihood is of completely wiping out that account is probably 95%. It sounds horrible, guys, but you're in this scenario of you need the cash flow, you're drawing down on it anyway for your living expenses, you've got not much left, you've not been performing, you've been in a downward trend on your account equity, the chances of it then going to zero are pretty high. So you've got to make a decision. And this is kind of being brutally honest about it and looking at things objectively and properly, because you've got to look at these things head on. You can't just say, oh, it'll be okay, I'll work it out. You've got to have a plan of action. And that plan of action is to secure this, right? You've got a trading pot now, whatever that may be, whether that's 5 grand, 1 grand, 20 grand, doesn't matter. You've got some kind of pot. You need to protect that, but you need to get some cash flow. So my recommendation, if you want to do trading multiple years down the line and not just have a crack at it and then give up, is to shore that up in whatever way you can. If you need to take a part-time job, do that. If you need to run a business or set up a business, then that's easier said than done, but perhaps you can be a consultant in the field that you've come from. I know a lot of people who kind of run businesses and have been in successful corporate careers and do that. Then maybe you can be a consultant for a few days a week and charge, whatever you charge in your field, £500 a day, £1,000 a day, whatever your consultant rate is, what you're doing. Or maybe you can do something else, some kind of online business and that's easier said than done. You're gonna have to get it rolling, but the most important thing is to get the cash flow. If you can do something that generates a cash flow, preferably that allows you to trade as well, then you've got the best of both worlds, right? Then you can trade with a clear mind this is sorted out, whether that is a part-time job, whether that is something else, online business, whatever that may be, and you don't have to worry about that. You've got a trading pot. Then you're trading from a place that's not fear. Because the problem is, if you haven't got that and that's funding that and you're not doing very well, it will eventually go to zero, and then you won't have a pot. And then you'll have to be forced to do this anyway, and then you'll have to be forced to not only do this to pay for your bills, but you'll have to accumulate a trading pot. So you may as well do that now and say, you know what, I'm going to have to cover my income, I'm going to have to do something else, and then I can learn at my own pace. Yes, it's going to be less time, especially for day trading. You're not going to be every day. Maybe you have to switch to swing trading, but that's the most important thing, guys, is preserving that pot, dial down the position size, cover your cash flow, and then reassess where you are. Once you've got that covered, then you've got a fighting chance of bringing this equity curve, stabilizing it, stopping the damage, and then bringing it back up. And then you can reassess. Then you can go, you know what, well, actually, I'm doing okay now. I can shuffle things out a bit. I can maybe knock down the amount of effort and hours I'm putting into this. Maybe, you've got decisions to make. Now, many people who have got these videos on YouTube or wherever they're going to say this, guys. They're going to say, yeah, you know what, trading, and let's be realistic. If that is the situation for you, this is a priority. You cannot carry on. And if you want to be here in 4 years' time with hopefully an account size that's up there, and not having to do this, then you might sometimes have to do things you don't want to do to get to where you want to be. So, brutally honest, those are my opinions for it. What do you think, guys? Do you agree? Do you think you should just carry on trading if you're consistently losing? Is it possible to turn it around very, very quickly? I mean, sometimes it is, sometimes it does just turn around and you get it. But is that going to be quick enough? Are you going to be able to become grow the account if you've got to draw it down? Loads of questions there. But anyway, that's my thoughts on it, guys. Get that secure however you need to do it. Then you can concentrate your efforts on doing this without the stress and the concern of having to pull money out of that pot to pay for your everyday living expenses. All right, guys, take care. Whatever you're doing, and we appreciate your questions and support. Take care. Bye-bye.